Hi YouTube fans, it is I, your local Scottish Trekkie, coming live at you for another Star Trek, the official Starships Discovery Collection. And this evening I'm going to be doing this one. This is a wee bit of an error because I remember when they made this one issue 3 instead of the Klingon Bird of Prey. So I'm going to be doing the USS Kerala, the Kerala NCC-1255. So I'll get through this one. We'll get through the magazine for the Kerala, and after I've done the magazine we'll get into the ship itself, more in the Starship in a little bit. Let's get into the magazine, shall we? Cool, so the magazine for the USS Kerala. Kerala. So it is a Shepherd class. It was launched the 23rd century. Its length is 505.5 metres. So what we'll do is we'll get into the profile of the USS Kerala and designing the ship. So the USS Kerala NCC-1255. Its specification is Class Shepherd. Its alpha ration is Federation. It was launched in the 21st century, and its length is 505.5 metres approximately. So then we have the ship going into its stand, the side view of the Starship, and a couple of images down below. So let's get into some reading for the Starship. So the USS Kerala, its profile. So it's some really nice images of the Starship there. Of the ship from the back, underside and the top view. So the USS Kerala NCC-1255. Unlike several of her fellow ships, the Shepherd class Kerala managed to survive the fateful battle of the binary stars. The USS Kerala played an important role in the battle of the binary stars between the Federation and the Klingons. The ship was a Shepherd class Federation starship that was active in the mid-21st century. The ship was named after the state in the South India where the country's Institute of Space Science and Technology was based. While its class was named in honour of the 20th century astronaut Alan Shepard, who was the first American in space. As with other Shepherd class ships, the Kerala had a sleek design with an Aztec pattern saucer section that blended into the secondary hull, and raised blocky nacelles with upward slanting struts. So we have some more in the USS Kerala's profile. So the USS Kerala was boasted as a saucer section, a raised secondary hull and twin pointed nacelles with slanting struts. Visually, the Kerala had echoes of the NX class starships that were active in the mid-22nd century. And it was armed with phasers and photon torpedoes, as well as defensive deflector shields. So we have some other shots of the ship. So we have the ship on the upward view. They have the ship in the frontal view, side view, and its back view. The Kerala was one of a number of Federation starships that arrived to assist the USS Shinzo, which had sent out a distress signal after becoming under unprovoked attack by the Klingon interrogator Takuvma and his forces. The Kerala, along with other Federation starships, dropped out of warp just in time, as Takuvma had summoned ships from the squabbling 24 great Klingon houses to his side. It wasn't long before a full-scale battle ensued. The Federation suffered heavy losses, including several starships and thousands of crew members. The USS Kerala itself survived the battle. Sorry, make myself a bit more comfortable. That's better. Although it was uncertain how badly it was damaged or what it did next. The USS Gagarin, the latter piloted by Captain Tishen Tovol, was ambushed by 6 Klingon warships shortly after the Battle of the Binary Stars. Despite a valiant attempt by the USS Discovery to save her, the Gagarin was destroyed by a torpedo from the Klingon bird of prey. So we have design in the USS Kerala. It was designed again by John Eaves for the Shepherd class. John Eaves returned to his rejected Shenzhou design plans and turned an abandoned idea into a fully fledged ship. So basically, the USS Kerala, I'll show you later on, but it is basically the Shenzhou, without some of the parts of the Shenzhou which the Shenzhou had. During the development of Star Trek Discovery, concept artist John Eaves spent months working on the design of the USS Shenzhou. Every day he would produce 4 or 5 sketches, most of which were rejected, as the producers struggled to find the perfect design. After 2 main ships, the Shenzhou and the Discovery, the first major ship the producers planned to feature was the USS Curry. We were going to see the ship in episode 6 or 7, Eaves recalls. It was originally called the Curry after Madame Curry. The ship was later replaced by the Crossfield class Glenn, but at that point it had a totally different design. It was experimenting with a new warp technology and went through a bizarre kind of time warp. So that's really interesting. So we have some more intriguing designs of the USS Kerala from John Eaves. Some beautiful images there from John. I like that one. I like that one there. That's a really nice image of the Kerala. And that one of the underside of the ship. And then we have this one here. John Eaves felt that the initial version of the ship that came back from the VFX team was too short and stumpy, so he asked them to stretch it. So that's what he was talking about, that bit there. Bringing the eras. So Eaves goes on to say that he was very aware of the time period that Discovery is set in. So he was keen to incorporate elements from both Enterprise, which was set 100 years earlier, and the Kirk era, which was only 10 years or so in the future. I was trying to tie everything in with with things we knew already. It was either the beginning of a design element or at the end of it. Once his basic designs had been approved, Eaves passed them on to the visual effects department, and it explains this is where the departure for the way things would have happened. And replaced by the Glenn. By this point, the Curry had become the Kerala, but even this wasn't destined to last long. So the Crossfield class, the USS Glenn, fulfilled its role. Instead, this meant that although the Kerala had been finished, it was no longer needed. And then we have after the VFX team had sketched their model as Eaves asked. They supplied 3/4 views he painted over in Photoshop. So we have that image down there, which is really, really nice. And then we have some more images. By January, Eaves had produced a sheet showing the approved design from all angles. And then the Kerala made its debut in the second episode, fighting alongside another ship of the same class, the USS Ride. And another ship of the same class appeared in the 8th episode. The major difference was the positioning and the size of the registry. the USS Gagarin, which was down here. So that's my review of the Kerala's magazine, and coming in issue 4, we will finally get the Klingon Bird of Prey. So that's my review of the ship, and we have the ship pointing upwards with the Star Trek Discovery logo down below. Let's get into the ship itself, shall we? And here she is, the USS Kerala, the Shepherd class starship. As you can see here, it says the registry number, which is USS Kerala NCC-1255, and it's got Aztecan on the saucer section, and you can also see the bridge dome, which is here. Oh, I just noticed as well. I'll take that as the bridge, because there's also one at the back up here as well. I don't know what that's. Don't know what that section is. Maybe you guys can let me know if that is, or if that's the bridge down there. If that's the bridge there, maybe you guys can let me know. I've got a funny feeling that's the bridge area there at the front, because most starships they do usually have the bridge at the top at the front. But that's a wee bit of a weird one at the back. I didn't notice that. Maybe that's like maybe that's just like design or something like that at the back. And then on the other side of the ship, you've got the deflector dish underneath, and then you've got the red stripes for the Federation down the sides. A lot of good Aztecan on this ship as well. A lot of good Aztecan. So what I was saying about this ship being a wee bit like the Shinzo. If you turn it around that way, it is a Shinzo, as the deflector points at the front of the ship in the Shinzo, and you can see that's definitely like the Shinzo from that angle. But the ship's meant to be that way, so that's quite class. And there's also piping along here as well, along the top up here, and there's also piping in the front of the cells. And then the cells are red on these ones, which is pretty cool. And it's got the red painted parts at the back for the impulse engines, here and here. And also as well, it's really, really thumbs up for me. And here's the stand for the ship. So you get the USS Kerala, and it's NCC-1255 2339A-A. And to mount the strip to the stand, all you do is connect these parts at the back of the saucer of the ship, and that's the Kerala on its stand. So that's a review of the USS Kerala 1255, and if you guys liked my the review today, please give me the thumbs up for it. And I am your local Scottish Trekkie, and I will see you in the next video, which will be the Klingon Bird of Prey. And thank you very much for taking time to watch my video for tonight, and I will see you in the next video. And as Mr. Spock would say, live long and prosper, and bye bye for now. Bye guys, see you later.